Precursor to how today's going to go. Oh, let's check that out, see if I can, yeah, there we go. I was about to cough and I was going to mute my mic. I was saying earlier that I've got a slight cold going on, so I'll probably be like sniffling and coughing and such, but try and mute my mic before I do. So on the ES, I think this major uptrend right here, this one, it could be correct, though I'm not certain about that. So kind of just waiting to see if this is correct. If not, then this uptrend is already played out, and I'm not really expecting any more up movement at the time. So I want to see prices come down and confirm this trend before I'm looking to take any longs. I could start looking for some shorts if prices fall strongly through the EMA. That's what I'm thinking there. The NQ. It's still possible that this uptrend is similar to the ES, or that possible one on the ES, like this. But to me, it looks like the uptrend is probably already played out. So I'm expecting prices to either go sideways in like a range or start trending down. I'm not really looking for much to the upside right now until prices sort of have a clearer structure, maybe. Then on CL, it's kind of hard to tell what's going on in CL. I'm not really expecting much out of it. I was thinking this range might come back into play, but it looks like the range has already played out. Looks like there's even a secondary range here that gets a breakout, pull back. Yeah, so I don't really have any expectations for CL. I'm just waiting for something clearer. I'm going to go over to my second monitor and mark up these same trends, so that way I can see everything all at once. Okay. So the ES looks like it's coming back down to test, again, what could be a trend line that I'm uncertain about. It could be a potential entry there. Kind of looks like a short-term leg back with a close outside and moving towards a possible break in new low. The RT, or this, the NQ, I said is either most likely going to move sideways or see some sort of reversal to the downside, because I do believe this uptrend has played out. CL, prices are moving down pretty strongly. If we continue to move down, then I might be looking for a short. And the RTY, I was thinking this looks like two larger legs back, but we've extended past the measured move. So I would still consider maybe a higher low here or something like that. But I'm thinking the price will probably come up and test this high, most likely, but we'll see. I always feel so much better coming into the trading day whenever I have a little bit of time in the pre-market to analyze things. So that way, whenever prices do open, I'm not like scrambling to figure out what's going on. Like I already have sort of an idea. Just makes me feel a lot better about it. So I already know kind of what I'm looking for in each chart, and it really helps. Definitely excited. The next few months are going to be mostly just grinding on trading. So my business sort of has seasons. Just got out of a really busy season, and don't get me wrong, I'm still have some contracts, but it won't be nearly as busy as the past couple months have been. So really going to be putting a lot more time towards trading and studying because I haven't had as much time recently. So I'm really looking forward to that. Basically have about like 3 months of what I hope and will try to make as really, really intense study period, basically. I haven't actually looked at the daily chart on the ES. I'm gonna, let's see. Since I've been gone for a week or so, I want to see what the daily chart looks like. Looks to me like there was a spike in channel up here or something like that. That looks like it's probably gotten a break. It's a pretty strong move down, but I guess I was here for this move down. And we've just kind of been chopping sideways to up for the past, I don't know, a few days since I've been gone. Whatever trading days I missed here. So as far as the setup that I was looking at on the RTY, prices do look like they're sort of rejecting on the low side of the EMA. So if I were to take a trade, I was hoping that it'd be like 2 larger legs back and then a strong push above the EMA, pull back, test it to go higher, but that doesn't really look like what you're getting right now. Prices are struggling to get back above the EMA. And through studying some of these past days, I noticed that I think I do better whenever I don't try and have an opinion on where the market's going to go all the time. Like I was thinking that maybe it would help me learn if I pointed out where I was thinking prices were going to go at like each individual moment. But truthfully, I don't need to know where the market's going to go at each moment. I just need to know at a few very precise moments. So really, all I'm going to do is just look for the most obvious setups that I can possibly find, and everything else just kind of ignore it, you know? I mean, watch it so that way I know how prices got from point A to point B, but for the most part, all I need to know is just what are the most obvious areas, and that's it. So for example, like the CL, earlier I was noting that, you know, I don't exactly know where prices are going to go. Right now, prices are moving down strongly, and if there's a structure that I'm familiar with that forms, you know, like a downtrend that's looking for a break a new low or something of that nature, then I'll start looking for a setup. But right now, I don't need to know where prices are going to go, and I don't know. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if that's helpful or not. But I definitely think that it sort of impacted some of the days that I've been trading. Okay, prices are turning up on the ES here. We still haven't hit this possible trend line. So it makes me wonder, why are we turning up before we reach the EMA right here? I don't think that you can really put this, maybe you could pull this in so that's touching there. I'm going to leave it like I had it for now. And we'll just sort of think about why that might be there. Put a little horizontal support line so that way I can remember that happened. Definitely getting this congestive sideways area here. Made a double bottom, 1, 2 on the CL. We might be headed towards a break and new low for this downtrend. This is a first entry, second entry short there with a decent signal bar, but it just kind of looks like one leg up. And yeah, I don't think I would be particularly interested in that trade, but I will mark it just to keep an eye on it and see how that sort of plays out. We're not getting that strong push above the EMA that I was looking for on the RTY, so nothing to really do there. I'll be excited for this cough to go away. Only had it for a few days, but it's a few days too many. And on the CL, we are moving towards this break a new low for this downtrend. I'm not feeling like I absolutely should have taken that one because it's definitely just some uncertainty around exactly where prices were headed here. Even though there's a decent chance that you head towards this break a new low, the rest of the structure doesn't really make any sense to me. So I'm not really bummed about that one. Just a couple minutes from the open here. Really just a minute. The RTY is getting a strong move up here, so it's still possible this is 2 legs down. We can get some sort of higher low. It's not exactly how I was expecting it to set up, but definitely the possibility there. Not a good enough signal bar there that I would be interested, but it was pretty close. We are headed higher, so even though you didn't get a good signal bar there, I'm happy that prices are moving higher. Means in general I was probably correct to be looking for a long there. And now we have, I believe, hit the break a new high for this uptrend. Close outside, new high. Might be looking for a measured move up. Trying to see if this uptrend is going to hold on the ES. It's unsure. NQ, looks like an uptrend break, 2 legs to new high. Now you're moving down. The sideways area didn't really help you at all. Looking like the trend on the ES is not correct after all. So I'm just playing this as an uptrend with a close outside and 2 legs to a new high now. And there's the possibility of a range here. Something like that. So just waiting on a clear structure. Not really a super clear structure on any of the charts right now. Downtrend breaking new low. Now waiting to see where prices are going to go on CL. Uptrend, 2 legs down, break a new high. Again, just waiting to see where prices are going to go now. Could move sideways, could start trading down, could continue up, you know. Just have to wait for the clearer structure to unfold here. Continuing to sort of move down here. Lots of yawning today. Moving up pretty strongly on the NQ. I don't think there's any sort of larger structure right now. This could just be a secondary trend working higher. On the ES though, it's looking like there could be some sort of spike in channel coming higher here. Don't think that range is right. It could be here. Could be there. But I think it looked a little better right there. It's a possibility. Interesting on the RTY. So uptrend has 2 legs down, new high. Now it looks like you have another 2 legs down. Prices are attempting to go higher again. So I have to see if they're capable of doing that. On CL, this downtrend looks like it has a break and 2 legs to a new low. Now we have this super strong move up here. So if we do get a second entry long or something like that, then I would definitely be interested in taking a long. There is a possible setup on incur for a second entry long, and I would definitely consider taking that. This uptrend looks like it has a break in 2 legs to a new high, then you have a short-term downtrend break and new low right there before you get this secondary trend starting up. So I would definitely consider taking a second entry long there, looking for the closeout side and new high for that secondary uptrend. It's looking like you might get a good signal bar here. I do realize this is a little bit less certain of a trade because that secondary uptrend, it could be, you know, some sort of larger structure or some sort of different structure than what I'm currently looking at. It looks like you probably won't get that signal bar, but let's see how this sort of plays out here. It's looking like it's a doji signal bar. So no good signal bar there. Have to keep watching it. Order canceled. But as I was saying about why it's a little bit more uncertain, this uptrend already has a break in 2 legs to a new high. So it's sort of odd to have this sort of like just secondary trend right here. It could be, like I said, it could be some sort of different structure. Maybe this was all one uptrend from earlier or something like that, and that was the break in new high. I'm not sure, but I do think that prices will probably move towards this break in new high, especially after these 2 legs down. Man, this coughing is really getting on my nerves. I did meditate this morning, but just for 10 minutes because I didn't have too much time. So usually I like to meditate for 20 minutes, but just got 10 minutes in. It wasn't, you know, too bad for the most part. I had some moments where I think that I really, you know, cleared out my mind, which was great, but it was, you know, it wasn't anything special, I guess. And we are continuing higher on the NQ, so unfortunately we didn't get a good signal bar there. It's twice today that couldn't get into a trade because of the signal bar, but it's just how it goes. Sometimes it saves you, sometimes it doesn't, and yeah. Now on the RTY, looks like we're building out a similar sort of secondary trend. So uptrend gets broken with 2 legs. You get that breaking new high. Then you get another 2 legs down. Kind of getting this up move now. Flip over to the CL, where I was looking for a possible long, but it's a pretty strong short-term downtrend. So you already have a first entry, second entry there anyway. But yeah, it's a pretty strong short-term downtrend. I don't want to fight that for the time being. Noticing it's kind of hard to keep my eyes open today, so I didn't think I was that tired, but definitely the having a little bit of sickness going on I think isn't helping me. So I'm trying to drink this coffee here, get me sort of going again, but you know, just noticing that I feel a little bit out of it. Definitely like I could probably go to sleep now if I wanted to. Part of that too is that there's nothing really setting up in the immediate future, I guess. I know as soon as there is kind of a setup, I'll wake back up. That's generally how it goes. And before, I was noticing that I was viewing each of these charts kind of in conjunction with another, especially the ES and the NQ. Like if I saw one structure on the ES, then I assumed that it was probably the same on the NQ, and I had to sort of like, okay, so you see on the, for example, you see right here on the ES how there's a spike in channel. Well, I don't see any kind of spike in channel on the NQ. There could be one, but I don't see it. And, you know, in the past, I was sort of saying, okay, well, I'll force one to fit, you know, and maybe I'd be looking at this and saying, okay, well, I'll force one, something like this to fit. But they're not the same chart. So I just need to trade these as each individual chart, not in conjunction with one another. Like they're different. They're different charts. So there's no point in trying to force something to fit whenever it's just not going to fit. So it's just something I noticed that I was doing, that I was forcing structures from one chart to another and relying too much on the interplay between them. But like they're different charts. I just need to trade each one individually, regardless of what the other ones are doing, because it's sort of messed me up in the past. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mute the mic on that one. Now it does look to me like there is some sort of larger structure here, but I'm not exactly sure where it would be. Could be something like that. Could be something like this as well. But right now, neither one of those looks particularly great, so I'm just going to play it as is, playing the shorter term trends, and then if something becomes really prevalent on the larger term, then I'll take a look at it. But for right now, I don't see any point in doing that. See how the short-term downtrend has broken. Not really looking for anything. The only way that I was looking for a trade here is if there was like a very clear and immediate pullback after the spike up. So like a clear and immediate 2 legs back. But right now you've got 1 leg back and congestion. So the obligation to hit the break and new high for the short-term uptrend has sort of dissipated, in my opinion. So I'm not really going to put any weight into that anymore. That's what I'm saying there. And on the ES, the spiking channel is so far playing out. So it could be correct because prices are playing off the channel line, the opposite line right here. So it's definitely a possibility, but for right now, we are just congesting sideways. So nothing to do right now. Whew. Just gotta sit and wait and watch. And in the past, I thought that, oh, I need to be like fully 100% focused on the chart at all times. But I don't think that's true either. I've been reading the Art of Learning by like Josh Waitzkin or Josh Whiteskin. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I've listened to the audiobook 3 times, and I'm reading it right now. And in one section, he's talking about like how you need to intensely focus on certain points of the, well, okay, I guess a little backstory, because not everyone's read it. He was a chess master, and then switched to do Brazilian, or not Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but it was push hands, Tai Chi push hands, and became the world champion for that, like multi-time world champion. But anyway, he talks about how in his chess games that sometimes he would be too focused and he would gas himself out, basically, and the rest of his tournament would sort of go downhill after maybe 1 or 2 good games of extreme focus. And so how he would, between moves or between periods of extreme focus, he would just basically zone out. And I always thought that that was sort of a bad thing, that I needed to be like 100% laser focused. But if there's nothing to really do, then is it such a bad thing to zone out? As long as there is truly nothing to do, because sometimes I have zoned out whenever I shouldn't, and I'll miss something. So it's a fine line, but I think it is helpful, because whenever I'm too focused, I'll start reading into things that I shouldn't, and I'll start reading or trying to find trades where there aren't trades, because I'm too focused and I'm trying to like watch every individual move. Like I'll be saying, well, there could be a trap here. Like let's say if I'm looking at this, I'd be saying, oh, well, this is a fail breakout. It's a triple test, and maybe if I would limit back just a little bit, maybe I could get out for 1-to-1 before this. And it's been so strong, prices are struggling to get back to the EMA. So maybe there's a trade there. But look, that's not the best trade. Like just maybe it's better right here just to just zone out and wait until prices reach the key entry point, and that's the end of the story. So yeah, I don't know. That's just a random thought. Just going to flip through each of these charts real quick and just kind of say what I'm thinking. So prices are continuing to march higher here. So going to look at this uptrend that I was sort of thinking about earlier. Maybe it's not that one. It could be something like, I don't know. Maybe it is maybe a spike in channel. Could be something like that. Although this is just such a weird little trend right now that I don't know. I don't know about that one. It's just odd that prices are continuing to march higher. But I don't see exactly where the structure is there. On the ES, the spiking channel is still looking correct. On the CL, this uptrend has a break a new high. So everything's played out there. And the RTY is continuing to march higher as well. So have to start thinking about some sort of larger structures, and I definitely want to be active in trying to find it, whatever the larger structure might be. This is a possibility here. That strong move up could be like a spike, boom, moving up there. Just an idea. And I guess on the NQ as well, maybe you could say that it's just like that, something like that. Yeah, not entirely sure. That's okay. Don't need to be. Right now that's the best I can come up with. So just need to be cautious about playing it because I'm not so sure about it. But could be it. So I'm just going to go ahead and wipe this trend here and just play the smaller ones. So it looks like everything's played out to the upside. Might be looking for a trade on ES. as prices are sort of returning towards this spike in channel. So possibility of some sort of second entry long or something like that. That looks like the second entry long is probably going to form right here. It's not at the key entry point though, so just not interested. Like I said, on the NQ, looks like everything's kind of played out, at least to the shorter term, or all the shorter term trends. Uptrend break, then 2 legs, downtrend break, new low, uptrend break, new high. You get a few legs to a new high, which is kind of odd. Could be a larger structure here, but not seeing it, don't want to play anything. Then on the RTY, you have this spike in channel, or what looks like a spike in channel there. And so I might be looking for some sort of long. So, you know, a few possible setups here. You could even say on the CL there's a possibility as well. It looks like uptrend break, 2 legs to a new high. And now you get a spike down. So you could get some sort of second entry short or something like that. Definitely a few possibilities. Have to see what sort of sets up and just go from there. And I usually don't drink much coffee, but I'm kind of, well, I was gonna say I'm kind of killing this one, but I'm only not even halfway through, so it's not necessarily true. Man, yesterday I was freaking wiped. So we're ridiculously tired yesterday. So I'm definitely considering if there's a good signal bar here off of this trend line, maybe saying, maybe I'll take that. But this trend line, I'm not 100%, it's broken anyway. If there was a good signal bar here, I don't think I'd take it anyway. It's just not a good setup, to be honest. If it was a second entry off that trend line with a good signal bar, I mean, that's a different story. But right now it's already a sort of, not the best trend line ever, not the most certain thing ever. And so you can't just take any random old good signal bar off a trend line. I mean, I've tried that, and usually I fail, and whenever I do that, so it is what it is. But now you do have double top here. It looks like you've broken whatever this trend line is or was. It's not a 100% sure thing, but I could see possibly getting a second entry here, like a high or low second entry or something. Just dropping like a rock on CL right now. I was hoping maybe there'd be a second entry short, but just dropping real quick on that first entry. There was a second entry long on the NQ. Well, sort of. I think a second entry long was right here, but it kind of looks like two larger legs back. The problem is, I just don't exactly know what the structure is right now. It kind of looks like prices are kind of rolling over and running out of momentum, so it's not worth taking such a risky trade there, in my opinion. On the RTY, the spiking channel already has a close outside and a new high. Just not really too much going on today. I mean, there are a couple possibilities for trades, but not much that I've seen. I think I would probably do well to just only trade whenever I'm sure of the context. I mean, there's sometimes like this where like, okay, yeah, the context is like sort of up and maybe you could get a failed second entry here to go higher. Okay, great, but like what's the context? Like, do I actually understand what's going on? And the answer is no. So like, I feel like if I just waited on those moments where I was like really sure about what was going on with the context, I'd probably be a lot better off. I mean, that's more important than any individual setup. So sometimes you'll get like really good setups, but the context is just not that great. So, you know, I think that it could be a good, you know, sort of rule of thumb. It's just always have great context. Doesn't always have to be a great setup, though. Setups aren't always going to be perfect. You're not always going to get a perfect pattern. Definitely finding the same support in this area. Could just be expanding into a larger range here. If that's the case, maybe it's just a midline. But for right now, I'm just going to keep it as is. Looks to me on the RTY, I mean, this uptrend's already played out. Looks like we're just kind of going sideways in a range. Nothing that I'm really looking to take there. On the ES, I already mentioned price are finding support off the same level. Could be a slightly larger range going on. I'll go ahead and just draw this resistance just in case. But this spike in channel could or could not be correct. To me, it looks like it looks right to me. But it also looks like it's probably broken and prices are going to head towards that, close outside a new high. Again, on the NQ, I don't see the larger structure. I think there probably is some sort of larger structure here. I'm not entirely sure what it is yet. Could be something like that. It's just not super clear to me. So I'm not playing any sort of larger structure at the moment. Something like that could be correct. But on the shorter term scale, this uptrend has played out, this uptrend has played out, and it looks like prices are running out of momentum. So I'm not, you know, super looking for any longs there. I'm going to keep an eye on this sort of larger structure right here and see if that trend comes into play. On the CL, I've just been playing the shorter term stuff as well. This downtrend, you get the second entry short, which, like I said, could be decent. I was a little bit uncertain about what prices were doing, but right now, that's kind of the best trade that I've seen all day. With that second entry off the EMA, looking for the break and new low for that downtrend. But continuing downtrend has a break and 2 legs to a new low. Uptrend has a break, 2 legs to a new high. Then you get the short-term downtrend, break, and new low. So everything's just sort of playing out on the shorter term stuff here, and you're not getting any sort of larger structures. So lots of chopping around, very range-like on this chart. Just not really much to do. You know, if I don't take a trade, I don't particularly care if I do or not. I mean, I'll be sitting here whether I do or not. This is probably like the most boring stream ever as far as like trading goes. There's probably like a million other traders that are streaming and are more interesting, but I mean, this is me. This is how I trade. ready for this cough to go away. I wouldn't be surprised on NQ if this ends up just being some sort of range. It's just kind of uncertain exactly where the bounds would be. It's definitely sideways. EMA is not being respected. You can keep an eye on it. This trend is, I mean, super uncertain. I would not put hardly any weight behind this trend for the time being until it gets like if it gets another confirmation and prices really push away. That's the only time that I would even consider maybe taking a trade off it or anything. Just about an hour and a half left, so I'm about halfway through the day, considering I started streaming about 9. Not bad, not bad. And I'm not sure if anybody's even watching or if anybody's typing or commenting or anything, but I only check the chat whenever I'm done trading at 12 p.m. I just, it's one less thing to do, one less distraction. I'd love to be able to, type to everybody or interact with people, but I don't know. I don't have that kind of cognitive capacity. I can't multitask like that. It's enough to be looking at 4 charts for me. I'm going to go ahead and draw this as a range. I think that's probably the right structure. I like it. And the NQ, like I was just saying, this uptrend is highly uncertain. We'll see right here whether prices react off it or not. And the CL, just doing its thing. got some things that just came to my mind that I want to remember later. In a few months, I'll be headed to Europe for, I guess, a vacation of sorts. And I'm definitely gonna bring my laptop with me. So I was thinking, I wonder if I'll be able to stream while I'm sort of traveling. Might have to just get maybe like a headset or something. But also, I don't even know what time. I mean, I'll be in like Germany. I don't know what time it is. Like, the time difference. I know it's like a lot. So we'll see. Maybe maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Usually during the summer months, trading slows down a lot, but we'll see. Until then, though, for the next 3 months, I'll be on it. I was thinking I might also, what I really want to do, I do want to do this, like each Sunday, do like a recap of the week where I'll go through like all of the, I mean, definitely all the trades that I've taken, but like every single document, because after the trading day, I'll watch this entire stream back in like 2x speed, and I'll note down like everything that I did right and everything that I did wrong, all the errors in my thinking. But that doesn't help you very much unless I actually go back and like notice like the tendencies. So I was thinking at the end of each week, maybe on Sunday, maybe on Monday. Sometimes my weekends are super busy, so maybe I'll call it, Monday is the end of the week. I don't know. Go back through all of those and make a little like recap video. I don't know. I've been thinking about doing that for a little while. Basically, since I started streaming, I've been thinking about doing that. I haven't done it, but I'd like to. It'd be cool also just to look back and see like the progression. So I'm not going to go back and watch like each one of these live streams. I mean, I do watch it at the end of the day, but I'm not going to watch it, like months from now. So to have like a recap of each week and see like how I've done each week would be really cool. I don't even know why I moved that. I think it was already in the right place. Man, I hate charts like this where it's just like flip-flopping with no consistency. Like, yeah, it looks range-like, but there's no like clear range highs or range lows, so there's not really much you can do. Short-term trends are just playing out. You could consider maybe there's like a slightly wider trend through here, but nothing that really helps you or anything. I even took some cold medicine and I still have this nasty cough. For some reason, one of the live streams like really picked up a lot of views while I was away. I was on vacation with my family, and I noticed that one of them had like, I don't know, something like 150 views or something. It was a day that I took 2 losses. I don't really understand why that one picked up so many views. It's sort of strange. Like you would think that the ones that would pick up a lot of views would be the ones where I did really well, or I really predicted something well or something, but for some reason it's the one that I traded really poorly, which is strange. Looks like on the ES, this uptrend has a closeout side and a new high now. So looks like a spike, channel, break, 2 legs up. Whether this range was right or not, I think it is, but we'll see whether prices pull back in here or not. There's not really much to do. That's okay though. I think it used to be really difficult for me to not take trades. Like I'd be sitting here and like itching to take a trade, and you know, it'd hit like a certain point in the day and I'd be like, I don't even know, like a fiend trying to like take something. Just I would take like anything, even if it was like some terrible setup and I knew it was a terrible setup, I would still take it. But thankfully I've sort of grown out of that one. It took a lot of work, but yeah. It's interesting though, because my mentor, Mac, with Price Action Trading System, he always said that learning the skill is the easy part, but beating the mental side of things is the hard part. And for me, it's always, the mental side wasn't like incredibly difficult. Like I feel like I got rid of over trading for the most part. I don't really, sometimes I'll still take some really dumb trades, but like it's not often. I don't really blow up, and you know, I follow my rules and everything. But for me, it's just a matter of the actual skill aspect that I've struggled with, and really knowing exactly when I should and shouldn't be taking a trade. Like if it was crystal clear when I should be taking a trade, I wouldn't have any issues. I could wait for a week and I really wouldn't care. I've done it before. So, you know, I guess everyone has their own journey. We're getting there. Might have finally found the range top on incur. And clearly there's some sideways action, not very clear highs. I mean, it could just be that. Could be that. It's not the most clear range bounds. I'd love to just drag it down like there, but it's kind of messy. I don't know about that. On the ES, on the other hand, looks like a pretty clear, I mean, we'll see if prices actually turn down here, but at least right now it looks to me like a pretty clear close outside, 2 legs to a new high. So if we do get a strong move down, get a super strong leg down in the second entry short or something like that, could be interested. So far, everything's adding up. Oh, god damn it. My mic was muted that whole time. That's a bummer. I wonder how much I lost. I don't even know. Just depends on when was the last time I coughed. This is whenever I will check the chat. I bet someone's probably... Oh, I don't know. I was going to say I bet someone said that my mic was muted, but nobody has. But while I'm here, Lance, thanks. Yeah. I'm glad to be back as well. And you said you struggle with pulling the trigger. Yeah. Yeah, I do that. I do that too sometimes. But the skill is definitely the tough part. For me, at least. I really got to work on, like, not forgetting to mute the mic. God damn it. I wonder how much I missed there. You're definitely not playing off this spiking channel like I would sort of expect there. Like if this spiking channel were correct, you're not really playing it quite right, so I don't think that that's probably true. On the CL, this is a pretty strong spike down though, so there's a possibility for a setup to go short. Finally getting some structures here that might be tradable. The RTY, everything's played out to the upside, had this range, breakout, pullback, now we're moving down, so could be something there. Nothing really on the ES. Incur, I'm just going to go and remove that spiking channel. I don't think it's correct. And then I don't exactly know where the bounds are up here. Could be anywhere, really. So it's really just the CL and the RTY that I could see a couple structures possibly playing out, being something tradable. Now I'm like worried about like my mic. Keep like checking it. Okay, everything so far is playing out like I'd sort of expect it to. So the ES uptrend break 2 legs to new high. Now we're getting this strong down move. It's pretty much what I was expecting there. So possibility to take some shorts. In Q, like I said, I'm not really sure where these bounds are, but it definitely looks like, you know, sideways range like, so not really much for me to say there. The CL, this short-term downtrend possibly already has a break in a new low. It's still a pretty strong spike down, so if we did get 2 legs back and they looked really good, then maybe I'd be looking to take a short. On the RTY, if this downtrend, might be looking for some sort of short there. So we will see what happens. Got a little bit less than an hour left, but feeling pretty good. Enjoying watching the chart. That's all you can ask for. Maybe I ought to just like stop muting my mic. I forget to unmute it sometimes. Like maybe I ought to just say, screw it. You know, if I cough, I cough. If I sniffle, whatever. I don't know. I don't know. Man, I wasn't super excited to come back and trade, but I'm happy to be back now. I really am. Finally getting some possibly clearer bounds going on here on the NQ. I mean, you know, I was just thinking, you look at this, it's clearly a range. Even if there's no clear bounds, like, you just play it like a range, you know? You don't need to know exactly where the highs and the lows are. Just like know that, yeah, that looks like a range, so play it like a freaking range. I used to be so exact about these things, be like, oh, if this trend plays out here, then, you know, that sets the precedent, and then blah, 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 blah. It's like, who gives a shit? Come on, like, it's just a range. Just let it be. It's just, I think a lot of this is more of a feel. It's more of a feel than it is like a science, to be honest. I think there might be a spike in channel here, but maybe it's just this channel. It's kind of odd whenever you skip this much price action, which makes me think that, like, it could just be this, like, you know, some sort of spike in channel down, like that. That could be the case. I'm just gonna watch and see. It could be either one. It could be neither one. Either way, you're making your way down. So, like, if you do get a good short setup, I'll probably take it. I want to keep in mind there's some support down here, though. Clearly touched off that there. Keep having these little random thoughts I need to write down. Looks like the spike in channel is not correct, though. Just gonna go and remove that. I probably wouldn't take a short here. I mean, it looks like this downtrend's probably played out. You reach this support anyway, so probably not looking for any shorts there. But the RTY, on the other hand, this trend is still, you know, looking pretty decent. Kind of tired of like plugging and unplugging this mic all the time. So I was thinking about getting like a little clip on my my table over here. Then I can just like swing it out of the way, like swing it back. I'm gonna write that down too. All kinds of stuff to buy and do and whatever. I really got to run to the bathroom, but there's this possible trade on RTY that I'm looking for here. Maybe a little second entry short or something. So just gonna wait and see what happens there before I run to the restroom. I don't know if it's actually that angle. It's probably steeper like that. Let's look for a close outside of that new high, ideally. little bit over half an hour left before I'll be hopping off for the day. Definitely the possibility for a second entry short here. Let me go ahead and pull this on in there. Maybe it is wider like I had it to start off with, but we'll see. Ideally, you get a little close outside, new high, create a second entry short, looking for the close outside, new low. But you haven't made any really major lows. You can see, like, if you look, we kind of have like this one and then this one, all making, you know, sort of these higher lows each time. Higher low, higher low, higher low. Still a higher low there. It's possible things are changing because you did sort of break below these ones with a decently strong push away from the EMA, but we'll see. Not really too worried about it. Whether I take a trade or not doesn't really matter to me. Hey Lance, I usually don't check the chat, but I did flip over here just because I was curious to see if anybody said anything. Sometimes I can't help myself. I don't think you were on earlier whenever I did check the chat again, but you said nice to see you back. Nice to see you as well. Thanks for popping in. I had a nice vacation with my family. It was great. You said that you need to work on the skill aspect as well. You struggle pulling the trigger. Yeah, I do that sometimes too. It's funny. I think, you know, some people, I guess, just struggle with different things. I don't really struggle pulling the trigger myself. If I see a good trade, I'll generally take it. But for me, it's a matter of finding the right trades. Sometimes I will struggle with, you know, pulling the trigger. Tick chart for the CL. I am using a 250 tick chart. And I just try and match them to the ES. So like I'll just go to like 930 and I'll see how many bars there are. There's 101 bars on CL. And then if I go from like on the ES, the 2000 tick, I'll just measure how many bars are there, and it's 94. So that's pretty close. 94, 101 bars. Yeah, I'm still on Max Forum. No, I don't look at his mid-morning charts. No particular reason. I don't know. I don't think it really matters. Like, I've had it mess me up before whenever I look at his. Sometimes, you know, his read differs from mine. And I'm not saying that his is wrong and mine is right, but ultimately I want to, you know, learn by myself. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's one more thing to do. There's no particular reason why I don't check it, but yeah, I don't check it. I'm hopping back off, so I won't see the chat again for a little while, probably until 12. I usually don't check it until 12, but sometimes I just can't help myself. But looking for a possible second entry short here on the RTY. This is a 400 tick chart. If you're ever wondering what the tick sizes are, I have the 2K here on the ES. They're down here, 1500 on the NQ. I need to actually rename this one because I changed it. So I need to change this to the 250 there, and then I do the 400 on RTY. And you can see all the ticks down there, and the ticks are also up here towards the top left as well, which I guess you probably can't see because my face is in the way. But down here you'll see the 2K, the 1500, the 250, and the 400. It's all right here. Then just in case I do end up taking one, I'm going to change the bracket to the, I use a different bracket on the incur because there's a lot more points on the incur. So if I were to enter a trade with this normal bracket, it would be like super small. So I have to have a wider bracket. But on the RTY, the ES and the CL, this bracket works, just the typical one. Possibility to get a second entry short here, but I'm not convinced that this short-term uptrend is played out. To me, it just kind of looks like one leg up. So yeah, probably not going to be looking for anything there. You can usually kind of tell whenever there's a break of a trend, and whenever it's just kind of choppy like this, like sure, you could like pull it in here and say, oh yeah, that is a break, but like doesn't really look like it. It looks like a fluid sort of up movement there, and there's no clear break. I think I'm gonna stop muting the mic, so sorry about the coughing, but I hate whenever I forget to unmute it. I think that's more annoying than coughing. But I'll try and turn away from the mic and everything, so that way it's not as loud or hopefully obnoxious. Shaping up to be a day with no trades, though. It's okay. There's your second entry short right there. It is a pretty good signal bar, but like I said, I'm not taking that because of this short-term uptrend working higher. So it is a second entry short. It's off the EMA. You're looking for probably a break in new low. But just because of that short-term uptrend, I'm not going to take that. Still consider a higher or a lower high, or maybe if we do get a close outside and a more clear new high, then maybe I'd take that. But as is, just don't think it's worth it. There we go. Looks like that to me. But yeah, as far as Max chart goes, I don't know. His could look like mine. It could not. But I like the way mine's playing out. So I like this spike here, this channel up, breaking two legs to a new high. You go into this like range-like action. So I'm liking that so far. It looks like it was the right decision to skip the second entry short here. I think the short-term uptrend is still in play. Looks like prices are going to close back inside of there. Yep. Not much to do. Not much to do at all. Clearly some resistance coming in there. Leg down, break, new low. Find support at the same level. You can get a little bit of a higher low right there. Finding some resistance up here though. Something like that. Yep, looks like we're closing back within this trend on the RTY. And by the way this bar is looking, looks like some people got trapped there. As I mentioned though, it's a little bit riskier taking a short here because I mean we're still overall creating these higher highs and higher lows. You can see all these higher highs here, these higher lows here. So even though you do have this down move that I believe probably will at least get an attempt at a retest, it's not worth taking a risky trade like that. Not there. Now that I'm looking at it, I do wonder if there's some sort of something there. Probably not. Probably not a larger structure. I mean, well, you could probably draw a larger structure and get something to fit, but whether it helps you or not is the real question. You know, you could maybe say like, oh yeah, you know, this is the break of this trend, but it doesn't help you, so whatever. And after the fact, you know, I could probably find something that fits, but I'm not going to draw anything. Price will probably come back and retest this old support. Man, I used to get so wrapped up in like what other people were doing. Just thinking about the sorry. Thinking about the form and such, like I used to be so wrapped up in like, oh, you know, so and so took this trade or so and so took that trade, or I don't even know. It doesn't matter though. None of that matters. Like, why does anybody care what trades anybody else took? Like, you're not going to learn from that. It's just your own tendencies. That's it. Max says it all the time too. And like also, for the most part, other people's opinions of like my trades don't really matter. They don't know my thought process while I was taking it, and maybe someone occasionally will notice like a pattern in something that I'm doing, and you know that could be somewhat helpful. But for the most part, like I've gotten very little out of asking other people about my trades. RTY is really moving up. Could even be overshooting there. Maybe something like that ends up being right later on. Could be. I don't think I'll be here long enough for it to matter. Man, uneventful day. I mean, I enjoyed it. Uneventful, though. Not much going on. Did get pretty close to this measured move up there. Whenever I come back from a break, or like come back from like not trading for a little while, I'm always scared that I'm like, oh my god, like what if I like forgot everything and I'm gonna come in and I'm just gonna like completely shit the bed. But then I always get in and it's just like, I mean, it's like riding a bike, you know, you just hop back in. You haven't forgotten anything. Sometimes it's even better, you know. Sometimes I'll come back and I'll be like, oh my god, I can't believe I was doing all that dumb stuff. Now I'm like back in it, back in the saddle and feeling better than ever, you know. I do feel that pretty often. I've heard Mac mention that too. Yeah, I mean, something that you do this often and practice this often, you don't just forget like overnight, or you don't even forget it in like a week or a month. Or I could probably go away for months and come back and sure, I'd be a little bit rusty probably, but like for the most part, I'm not going to forget this. It's a skill. And you retain it. Driving a car, riding a bike, learning how to do a Rubik's Cube. No, actually, that's not true. I forgot how to do a Rubik's Cube. I used to know how to do that one, and I forgot. I forgot all the little... There's things you need to remember about a Rubik's Cube, like the little... what are they called? The... not algorithms, the... I don't know what they're called, like sequences of moves to get one piece to another. That like at one point were muscle memory, but I just completely forgot. So that's not a good example. So we have retested this old support here. We kind of tested it here, but that's not like a super convincing retest. Now we've got the retest, and I have a feeling the prices are just going to keep moving higher. They don't look like they have any intention of stopping anytime soon. In fact, this might even become a midline, so I'm going to watch out for that. See how much coffee I've drank. A little bit over half, so more than usual. Coffee really affects me a lot, so I generally will make 1 cup and use it for 2 or 3 days. Man, yeah, we're moving up pretty strong on the RTY. Look at that. Since I don't see anything really setting up, I'm going to go ahead and run to the restroom. Kind of forgot that I needed to, but I'll be back in just a second. And we're back. Just about 10 more minutes. Not really seeing much that could be setting up. Could be long in the RTY, potentially. Definitely, not playing out here is interesting to me. Having this downtrend not play out is what I mean. But I looked at something like this, and like I said, it could be something like this later on, but it's not going to matter for me now since I'll be off so soon anyway. It's better just to play the shorter term stuff. Yes, just playing within this range so far as I can tell. In Q, you could have an uptrend going on here. Yeah, not so sure. Yeah, pretty uneventful day. Not much here. So a couple possible longs. I would definitely consider taking a long on the CL here. In Q, not so much. Looks like you're breaking out the high side of this range. So I'm not super interested, but if you do continue higher, there could be something there. Yes, just in the range. Yep, that's about it. There's only 5 minutes left in the day. I think I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up. I don't think there's going to be anything in the next 5 minutes. Just going to go ahead and start logging the trades, or not logging the charts, more like. And let's check the chat here. Lance, I'm glad you like the stream. Yep, definitely nothing fancy. It's just me learning and watching. Like I said, I do these just to keep myself accountable. Whenever I stream them, then YouTube is storing these videos for me. So at the end of the day, I'll go back and I'll watch them in 2 times speed. I'll take notes on everything that I'm doing right and wrong. It's just one less thing for me to do, to have to store these and have to name them and everything. They just, whenever I put them up on YouTube like this, they're just out there. It's already named for me. It already has the date on there. And then there's no bullshitting myself, you know, like it's all there. It's all live. There's no, I can't try and hide trades for myself. They're there. They're out there for everybody to see. So that's why I do these. And if anybody can learn anything from them, that's great. If not, then, you know, it's not really the purpose of them. But yeah, I'm going to go and call it a day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.